Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Wednesday, the 25th September 2023. We'll be breaking down chart and through the exact zones where price will close above potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Tuesday, the daily was bullish at one point, formed the rejection, retraced, and now more likely will be closing bearish, forming daily resistance around 1934 100. Now, what's interesting with this daily candle is on yesterday's analysis, we were looking for potential buys above 1930, 35, 800, I believe. And we were looking for potential sells below 1930 or 1920, 29, I think. And when it dropped down to the hourly time frame, you can clearly see price been ranging within the no trade zone we've had on yesterday's analysis. Now, even when you drop down to the low time frame, you can clearly see this is a really messy range. So good job we've had this no trade zone set up. Now, just quickly looking at the daily time frame actually. And in my opinion, I think since the daily will be forming a daily resistance, I think price could still break above the this week daily resistance to continue to the upside, because this is not really a rejection. What would a rejection look like is, let's say for example, if we had a daily candle pulling back, forming this rejection, pull back and close, let's say within 1925 or even 1923, then that would be a decent daily resistance, indicating price rejecting the upside, rejecting this weekly resistance, and then we can anticipate for this potential daily resistance to be respected, that then have price to continue to the downside. But the way this daily candle is forming, there still could be a probability for price to continue bullish. And now to break down the chart and looking at the daily, we have a daily resistance formed around 1934 100. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour resistance around 1935 500. Excuse me. We have this most recent 4-hour support around 1926 400. Looking at the hourly, and then when you drop down to the hourly, this is our no trade zone we've had on yesterday's analysis. So we're just going to adjust this one here. So what we're going to do, we're going to adjust this level of resistance to 1936 100. Let's have a look on the 5-minute time frame. As we can see, we have, I would say we were going to keep it like this. So potential buys could be above 1936 100. For potential sells could be below 1929 800. And this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys. Again, probably the buys are going to be the same as yesterday, but let's have a look again. So the first thing we can identify here is we have a weekly resistance formed around 1940 100. Dropping down to the daily time frame, we have a daily previous support around 1940 100 as well. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, on the 4-hour we had that previous 4-hour support. Let's have a look on the hourly. More likely we're just going to stick to the high time frame, knowing that we also have the interest rates decision for the US dollar from the Federal Reserve. So I would say, since this is really small ranges on the daily and the daily is consolidating, a daily is ranging here. Maybe what we could do is the first target for buys could potentially be 1940 200, targeting this weekly resistance. The second target for buys, now what we're going to do here is we have this previous daily resistance around 1944 200. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour resistance that we did identify yesterday around 1945 100. And then we look at the hourly as well, that's the same level of resistance. So I'd say the second target for buys could potentially be 1945 100, targeting this 4-hour resistance. And now to look for potential sells. And now the sells, the first thing we can identify here is we have this weekly support formed around 1919 700. Dropping down to the daily time frame, we have this previous daily resistance around 1921 800. Looking at the hourly time frame, now when it dropped down to the 4-hour, not the hourly, sorry, the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see some sort of a range on the 4-hour time frame. So the first thing we can identify here is we have this 4-hour support around 1926 400. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, we have this range on the hourly. And yes, this is really massive range on the 5-minute time frame as well. So I'd say the first target for sells could potentially be 1926 400, targeting this 4-hour support. And since this 4-hour rejected the downside, respected this 4-hour support, we're just going to adjust this to 1922 400. Looking at the hourly, now this is the bottom level of this hourly support. So I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be 1922 400, targeting this 4-hour support formed early on this week.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.